This is within the 7th and 8th grade classroom. This is the students building their electromagnets. So we bought all the components as part of the SAMS project. We bought all the components for them to build the electromagnets. I like this comment. This was my favorite one. Amazing. All schools should have this program.
Little sales pitch.
Yeah. And the amazing was all capitalized when it was in the survey, so I copied it verbatim. This is the Boston Museum of Science. So after they had done their electricity unit, built compasses and electromagnets, they went to the Boston Museum of Science, and the Boston Museum of Science actually has an electricity show. And the comment was, I like the electricity show and how it tied into our unit on electricity. And when I spoke to Jim Kaczynski after, he said it was so perfectly timed because they had just finished their unit. They really understood electricity, and they could really understand, well, what is voltage? They understood all the terminology, not just the wow factor of it. You know, there's a lot of lightning and things like that. You know, for the young kids, it's that wow factor, but they understood the details. This is what the 7th and 8th grade is doing. They started last week, so the last 2.5 weeks of school. They are building solar cars. We bought solar car kits, and so they're learning about solar energy and how that's a renewable energy source. And they're actually building those solar cars. And Mr. Kaczynski is waiting for a very sunny day to do our race. And unfortunately, we had several overcast days. And part of this is that the students were learning about, well, how do gears impact my solar car? How does the position of my solar panel impact my car? How does the weight of my car impact it? So they're learning not only just about renewable energy, but also the engineering aspects of designing and building a car. This is what the ultimate solar car looks like. So that's what they're building. So one of the, you know, we've seen a lot, we've done a lot of experiments within the classroom, we've enhanced a lot of our curriculum units, but one of the things that we talked a lot about too is, you know, we made it relevant by showing students what's out there, what could you do career-wise, but also, we've also said, well, we have to make it rigorous, we have to make sure they know how to do this. And one of the ways that we've decided to sort of enhance this and change things a little bit is to do science notebooking, which is something that's, you know, there's a lot of talk about science notebooking and what it means, but one of the main things that we've talked about is this is what real life scientists do. When they're doing experiments, they're documenting what are their hypotheses. They're actually drawing diagrams. So this is out of a student's science notebook. I just copied it out because I think it's important to show, you know, they're coming up with sort of their essential questions. What does an electric motor look like? How do electromagnets and gears impact my motor? Things like that. These are their questions, and then they're going down and they're investigating, they're drawing pictures, and then they're documenting. And that's what the science notebooking is about, is finding, first hypothesizing, what are you trying to find out? Then going through your process, documenting that, and then documenting your findings. So that's what we're trying to get our students to do. This is something that we focused on at 6 through 8, but it's actually something that K through 8 will be doing beginning next year. So it's a nice thing because it's something that will be district-wide. It's not as though students coming into 6th grade are going to learn something new. It's something they will be doing from kindergarten on. It's also something they continue to do in North Kingstown High School, so it's the same science notebooking process. So that's a little bit about what we've done in the 3 months. We've been busy, there's been a lot done, it's been exciting. The students are excited by it, the teachers are excited by it. I've liked it. It's been really exciting for me to go out and learn a lot. I've learned a lot about aquaculture and things that I knew nothing about. So there has been a lot that we've done. There's still a lot that we plan to do. And really these 3 months that we did things in, we called our pilot year because we came into this grant in November. At a time when teachers were already teaching. So it was hard for them to take time and go and do new curriculum, things like that. They did a lot of it, but really I would say next year is our true first full year of this program. And some things, you know, this year we were able to test and find what works, what doesn't work. And we will modify it, so we will change some things based on some feedback. Our next step, so I mentioned we're conducting an end-of-year survey, so we'll get some feedback from our students, some feedback from our teachers to find out what they liked. During the summer, our teachers will be working, developing additional curriculum units. They developed quite a few during the school year. So the electricity unit was brand new, the solar energy unit was brand new, aquaculture were brand new units. So they did some of them as they taught. However, there are many more that they will do, so that come September, they'll have all of their curriculum units all done and ready to roll. So they're not doing it on the fly. They will enhance them as they go on, but they will have those units all done. And what those units entail are what their concept is they're going to teach, what they're going to bring in, whether they're smart board lessons, whether they're field trips, whether they're speakers, and how they're going to teach each unit. One of the things that we would like to do is develop assessments for each of the units of study. So that's another thing that our teachers will be working on this summer. I showed you the aquaponics tank, so we are going to order, set up, and install a new tank in the 6th grade classroom. So when our students come in the fall, they will have a new tank. We're going to order and install document cameras, and what these document cameras are it's basically an overhead, except it projects onto the smart board, and it allows them to display work that's on a computer, work that's just work done in the classroom, but it actually hooks up to our smart board. So the 2 science teachers and the 2 math teachers will each get new document cameras that we will install this summer. Our hope is to meet with some additional project partners and establish some new partnerships. One of the places that we really hope to establish better partnerships with is the URI GSO, the Graduate School of Oceanography. I have not been able to latch on to somebody that I feel is the right person to speak to our students and get in there. You know, there are a lot of people who will say, yes, you can come visit and see what we're doing. We don't want to just see, we want to do. And so that's what we're looking for, is to find the people that are willing to allow us to do part of a project. And then I spoke about the science notebooks. We'll be developing our plans for how to do science notebooking going forward.
And how many years is this grant? This was the first year.
Well, so this
First
grant,
month,
yes, it's 1 year, November to November. Our hope is that we would have a 1-year extension on that, given that we started in the middle of November, so that we started November 2009 to November 2010, but our hope is to go to November 2011 with the same money, just spread it out over 2 years because we started mid-year.
Fabulous.
Thank you,
This
Bernada.
is such a fabulous example of where we're trying to go with rigor and relevance, making
It's everything we heard this week at the model
connections
schools.
for, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's fabulous.
Fabulous.
I'm so excited to see this.
And one of the other data points that I just want to share with you is that one of the questions I ask students is, do you think that you will have a career in math and science after you graduate from high school or college? In our first survey, 28% said yes. Our second survey, 68% said yes. So
That's what we want.
that's what we want to see,
Uh-huh.
is at least we spike
Yes.
their interest. Who knows if they will or not, but at least we spike that interest, and that's what we're hoping for. So, do you have any other questions?
Thank you for
What do
coming
they do
on.
with the seahorses?
You do a great job.
What do they
What do
do?
they do with the seahorse and the oysters that they're raising? Are they seeding seahorses as well as oysters into there?
The Roger Williams University,
Yeah.
what do they do? The seahorses are only for just personal use, so people that use them in their tanks.
Oh.
They
So
they're
don't
not gonna
actually
put them
take,
back in the
the
bay.
seahorses and the clownfish do not go back.
Well,
because-
clownfish don't live around here.
Right.
but Seahorses used to.
I know.
But no, they are not seeding them back. That's not their plan for them.
I know.
For those,
I
for the
know.
moms and dads see studs and see fillies.
Well, one of the things that they do with them is they have a partnership with the New England Aquarium in Boston. So they actually do bring them to the aquarium there, and they are responsible for maintaining that aquarium. So a lot of their students actually dive in the, I don't know if you've ever been to that big tube, so they dive in that tube to get fish that are sick and take them out, and then actually bring them back to health or bring new fish in. So.
Thank you.
Nice job.
That's a great
They
job.
charge us $18 a dozen for the oysters.
Yeah, clownfish.
Not here.
We should. We should present at the model school conference.
Pardon?
We should
Yeah,
present that at the model school
I'm
conference.
thinking, you know, that I started a discussion with them about becoming, you know, a presenter or identifying as